Please note that this video is for educational purposes only, and it shouldn't be relied upon to make any investments or financial decision. Information in this video doesn't take into consideration of your personal circumstances, and it doesn't apply to you specifically. So consider getting advice from trusted professionals before acting on the information. Also, this video is not in any way affiliated with ASX, SelfWealth, COMMSEC, or any of the financial products mentioned in the video. What's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to show you how to buy exchange traded funds, or ETF, that's commonly known as, on either COMMSEC or SelfWealth. So first of all, we need to know the products we need to buy. For example, if you don't know what to buy in ETF, you could always come down to, on the ASX website, you can go to the products, ETFs, and other ETPs. Click on that, and then you can go to investment product list. Now, just before we touch on that, if you don't know what exchange traded products or ETF, if you don't know what they are, you're more than welcome to click into this exchange traded products online course. It will basically tell you what they are and what they involve. So it's really good learning tool if you're just starting off. So if you know what to invest in, for example, you can click on the investment products list. Scroll all the way down here until you see this ETP. So that basically means exchange traded products. And within here, you can pretty much see what's available to be traded on the ASX 200. So for example, the most common one that we normally invest in is Vanguard. Say there's heaps of them that you can look at. And for example, if I want to purchase this shares, Vanguard Australian Shares High Yield ETF, you have to remember that code, VHY. So once you remember the code, you can jump into any trading platform. In this case, I'll be showing you how to use COMMSEC. So you type it in VHY, making sure the name matches, Vanguard Australian Shares. You want to buy. Now there's two ways to do this. Say if you want to put in $2,000, you could either put in a quantity, so that's around 40 at market value, today's price right now, so that's around $2,100. So the other way to do this is you can put in the value amount, which is $2,000. Say for example, that's the amount you want to invest in, with the price limit of current price, which is $52.34. Put that in, and then it will automatically calculate that for you. Say for example, if you suspect the price to go down to $50 by next week, you could also put in the price limit on that. You put in $50, and then instead of good for day means that if the order doesn't get executed today, the whole order will be cancelled. You want to put in expiry date for next week. So make sure that's $50, and there you go. So same thing applies at SelfWealth. If you know the stock that you want to purchase, in this case it's VHY, type it in. Click on buy. Same thing, if I want to purchase $2,000 worth of stocks, I can put in 40 quantity, add to current price, the market price, and it will show you the calculation. And same thing here, if you want to put in $2,000, it will show you roughly how many units you can purchase at the current price. This is one of the differences between SelfWealth and COMMSEC, in my opinion. It's that when you put in a value amount, in SelfWealth you could actually choose the market then limit, which is the market price. It will roughly show you how many units you can get, instead of putting a limit on the price yourself. You could also do that. There's really no right or wrong in doing this. It's just preference. So say you can also put in $50, so day only or good till date. Say if I want to put into next week, and then you just go review order, and that's it. Now the main difference between COMMSEC and SelfWealth, in my opinion, is the price and the features that you can get. So this platform, the one that I'm using right now, it's the free platform. So there's limitations to that, and I'll put down the link in the description below, and you can do your own research in that. Essentially, the main difference is the brokerage fee. So in SelfWealth, they charge a flat fee of $9.50. Doesn't matter if it's $500, $2,000. Say if I put in $500 right now, it's still $9.50. If I put in $1,000, it's still $9.50. If I put in, say, $10,000, it's still $9.50. So COMMSEC has a tier structured fee. For example, if I were to purchase, say, $1,000 worth of stock, anything below $1,000, they charge $10. So $5,000 would be around $20 brokerage fee, and if you want to invest in, say, $20,000, that would be $30 of brokerage fee. Now that's the main difference between SelfWealth and COMMSEC. Now obviously they have different features as well in terms of the research and the platform that you could use within the platform. I'll put down the link for both COMMSEC and SelfWealth so you can do your own research and compare those two platforms. Now, even though SelfWealth is cheaper than COMMSEC or NAB or Westpac in terms of the brokerage fee, you have to keep in mind that it takes 1 or 2 days for you to transfer the funds over to this platform. So that's the timing cost that you have to keep in mind. But if they could change that to instant transfer, then that would be good. Now going back to ETF investment, exchange traded funds. A lot of people would, if you're just starting off, you probably don't know what to invest in and what ETFs are. So a good way to compare them is actually just look up what Vanguard or other companies have to offer. So if you're just starting off, it would be a good idea for you to compare and to see what funds the ETFs are invested in. Say for example, you can go to investments, you can go to exchange traded funds. Now in here, these are all the funds that you can trade on ASX 200. Say for example, if I want to invest in Vanguard Australian shares, I just have to look it up. There you go, Vanguard Australian shares, VAS. But there's also another one, Vanguard Australian shares high yield, and I want to know what the difference is. So you can click on that, and you can compare the two products. And it will tell you what the management cost is for each of the product. 0.1%, 0.25%. The minimum investment amount on exchange traded funds on ASX 200 is $500. This is the fund size, and this is the yield. And then you go down to the investments. Now typically people look at this, so what the funds, the underlying assets are within this fund. So you can compare this. The first holding is CSL for this shares index, and the high yield is 10.86% for BHP, and so on and so on. So you can look at that, the top 10 holdings for each of the product. And you can also see here what sectors they're invested in general as a guide for you. This one would be a financial sectors, 26%, whereas the high yield fund, they have 37% in financial services. It will tell you the allocation, market allocation, and so on and so on. Now, the good thing about this platform is you could also compare this with other products. So what you want to do is come to BetaShares or any websites that say for example, want to go to BetaShares and want to look at Australian shares, and here you go. These are the list of shares where you can compare them. So I'll just click on here just to be more specific. So say if I want to compare the Australian Dividend Harvester Fund HVST and the Australian 200 ETF, so I'll just remember the code A200 HVST, and then I come here, A200 and HVST. Now obviously when you compare this, you have to compare apples to apple comparison. Sometimes you can't really compare a say a Vanguard Australian Shares Index with a Vanguard Australian say like a government bond, because they give you like different results in terms of the yield and the benchmark and everything else. So looking at that, same deals apply. You look at the management cost, 0.07%, 0.65%, and you look at the fund size, 5.3 billion, 1.3, 742 million. So you could really see there's already a big difference over here. The total fund holdings, the yield, the loss for the past year, and also gives you a guide as to the investments down here as well. Now keep in mind that Vanguard, sometimes they don't really show you everything. So when you come down here, don't be surprised when you see it's blank. It doesn't mean it doesn't invest in anything. It just means that sometimes they weren't able to pull the data across and for you to compare them. But as you can see the beta shares A200 funds compared to say the Vanguard shares. So they all invest in Commonwealth Bank, BHP, Westpac, NAB, so on and so on. And you can come down here to again to compare the equity sector breakdown to tell you what they invest in. So if you're interested in signing up with SelfWealth, I'll put down my referral link down in the description below. Thanks again for watching my video. If you find this video useful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I wish you the best in your investments. See you next time.